This is the number one mistake guys make. They get too comfortable in the relationship, over communicate their interest in her and their love for her and devotion. So giving a woman certainty is a display of your weakness. She knows you love her. She knows you'll never leave her. Affection and touch and kisses and cuddling is great if it's initiated by the woman. She should want to do that, but you shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need to be cuddled. You're not a child. She's not your mother. But it's very attractive to women for you to be focused on yourself and the things that you enjoy and are passionate about, and not to be focused on her and developing some kind of relationship with her. It's the woman's role to develop the relationship. It's the man's role to develop himself. Marriages are doomed to fail, partly because you're expected to cohabitate. You're expected to live with your wife, sleep in the same bed. All boundaries get blurred. She will not have sexual desire for you because you killed the mystery. What's up, you guys? Back here in the bedroom. The light is good. Hopefully this time. If you made it far enough in the previous video, which was pretty long, it was like 36 minutes, but towards the end the light started to hit me in the face and I didn't really notice because it wasn't hitting me in the eye. Hopefully I'll finish before the light gets to this place. So this is like the third, or no, this is the fourth video on the breakup topic, and I put my email in the recent videos about breakups, and I've been talking to several guys going through breakups, and I'm starting to get a lot of themes and things that are universals across different situations. And I think a big part of this channel, besides men's mental health education, is going to be teaching you about female nature, because men are very confused about a woman's nature, like her natural, what evolution created her to be like. So today's video, the topic is the number one mistake guys make in a relationship. Most men don't even realize they're making this mistake. They think it's something else. They think it's a communication issue, because you'll hear that a lot. You'll hear that from the mainstream culture is, you know, communication is key. And communication is important, obviously. But what the mainstream advice and society fails to mention, because they have this narrative of equality. And from a young age, you've probably, if you're a younger guy, like in your early 20s, even for me, even when I was growing up, this was already a thing. Like, we were being raised to believe that men and women are the same, essentially. Nothing could be further from the truth. We are not the same. Men and women are very different. We used to know that intuitively, but now the culture has shifted and they're really trying to hammer this equality thing into people. And if they're hammering it into you from a young age, you're going to internalize these beliefs and it's going to sabotage your future relationships. I think I drank too much coffee. I'm sweating in here. Maybe if I open the window, but then I'm close to the street, it might be too loud. Okay, without further ado, the mistake is you're giving the woman too much certainty. Certainty, it feels good, it feels safe, and we want certainty. This goes back to the whole equality thing. You're told that a woman is the same as you. So if you want certainty, you think, oh, she wants that too. And she might profess to want that. She might say, like, yes, I want a man who loves me and only me, who would do anything for me, and who is faithful to me and loyal and a good man. Try that. Look at the men who do that. Does it work? Don't listen to what women say they want. Look at the reality. And you've been programmed by society. You've been programmed since a young age by parents and teachers and media to believe these things. Like you watch movies and you watch like a rom-com, and it's the nice guy that gets the girl, and the alpha male jock is he's portrayed as the loser in the situation. But actually, in reality, the alpha male jock is the one who the woman falls in love with, and she completely ignores the good guy, nice guy, nerdy guy. So just because you want something from your woman, it usually actually means she wants the opposite deep down. Like she might say, I want a nice, good man, but that's not what she evolved to want. She evolved to filter out the weak men, which are usually nice guys, from and she evolved to select the strong men, the men with strong genetics. Being a good little boy, being a faithful, loyal, good man and husband and or boyfriend, the men who have strong genetics typically don't behave that way. The men who have strong genetics they usually have a lot of options with many women. And as men, our biology, our male nature is to spread our seed. It's a variety and large quantity of different women and reproducing with as many women as possible. That's our nature. And the female nature is to find the one best man possible. So by giving a woman certainty, you're sub-communicating. You don't have options with women. You might have options with women, but you're not willing, you don't have the balls, you don't have the testosterone to follow your male nature and to follow through with any other option because you're in love with this woman. When you're in love with a woman, when you fall in love, you fell for it. Just like you fell for the societal conditioning that men and women are equal and that we're like this, we want the same things. You also fell in love, and that displays incredible weakness. Men with strong genetics don't fall in love. So if you do fall in love and you act that way, you're just signaling to her your weakness. You went weak for her. So giving a woman certainty is a display of your weakness. She knows you love her. She knows you'll never leave her. You won't cheat on her. She has you in her hand, in her pocket. I don't know what the expression is. She has you in her back pocket. I don't know. There's no mystery. She's not thinking, oh, does he really like me? Is there maybe another girl who's prettier than me or who treats him better than me? And maybe he'll leave me and go with someone else? There's no doubt in her mind that there's no one else. It's only her. And this makes her feel like she is settling. And it makes her feel like she's your best option. This is a horrible dynamic to have in a relationship. It kills emotional attraction. Women are only emotionally attracted to men who are their superiors, who are their authority figures, who are above them. So if you are communicating to her that you are equals and that or maybe that she is above you, it's gonna dry her up, and it's just a matter of time before she exits to go pursue a man who is superior to her and acts like it. So the mainstream advice will tell you, oh, be good, be dependable, predictable. That makes a good partner. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being dependable and especially predictable. If a woman, this happens in marriages because you're living together, she knows your routine. She knows everything you're doing. She knows where you stand, not just with her, but with all issues. She knows you front and back. There's no mystery. Women need mystery. Women need to peel back the layers of who you are on the inside as a man. And this should last a lifetime. Even when you're dating, you shouldn't reveal too much too quick. You should try to keep as many of your cards to yourself. Don't show your cards. Don't show who you are. Let her find out. This is the mystery. This is the intrigue. This is what builds attraction in a woman. She has to fantasize about you. She has to think about you. You have to be on her mind. Because trust and believe, there will be a man who is on her mind, whether it's you or whether it's someone else. So hopefully it's you, since you're in a relationship with her. But this is the number one mistake guys make. They get too comfortable in the relationship and they just completely reveal who they are. They over communicate their interest in her and their love for her and devotion. This is very unattractive. Please don't do this. It's so common. It's the most common thing I see. And if you started the relationship by being this way, by being very nice and accommodating and dependable, and you're like trying to win her over, she should be trying to win you over. But if you already started the relationship like that, it's hard to not suddenly change your persona and who you are. She's gonna think it's bullshit. Which is why a breakup could be the best thing to ever happen to you. If you actually want to be with this woman and she broke up with you, this is a perfect chance to spend a long period of time apart so you can actually change who you are. You can actually transform into a better man, into a strong man that is attractive. And then if you want, you can get this woman back if you really think it's the right fit. It's really hard to do it while you're still in the relationship, but it's possible. I know there's a lot of married guys. I kind of want to build my community around men's mental health education, female nature, and relationship dynamics. But I want it to be guys my age and around my age. I don't want super young guys in like early young relationships. I was married for 12 years, so it's kind of a different dynamic than if you're like a 20-year-old kid dating a girl for a few months. For me personally, after my transformation, I decided I'm way too good for my ex-wife, and probably that will happen to you too. Okay, let's talk about why certainty kills attraction. If you look at romance novels, it's basically porn for women. Women are very mental creatures. They're mentally stimulated, whereas men are visually stimulated. We like to see the action, and women like to imagine it. And in all of the romance novels, the archetypical love interest, it follows like a very predictable formula where the woman is like obsessing over this guy who is a mystery. and she wants to find out about him. She wants to get to know who he is inside. All she sees is like this masculine, rough exterior that sparks attraction and makes her want to know more. But if he actually sat down and spent a bunch of time with her and just opened his soul to her and just let her know everything about him, notice how that would never happen in a romance novel, because that would kill attraction immediately. It's mystery, it's excitement, it's just uncertainty that makes a woman want a man and be attracted to a man and want to continue to invest in him. So if you're giving a woman complete certainty that you love her, you'll never leave her, and you become very predictable and she knows everything about you, this is the most common mistake, and that ends relationships, because you lose emotional attraction. You need that emotion to keep a relationship going. You also need other things. You need physical attraction. You need to look good. You need to stay in shape. Finances. You have to be on top of your financial game. And you have to be progressing and ambitious. But you can have both of those. You can be rich and have a six-pack, but if you're just doting over your woman and you're giving her full certainty, there's no emotional attraction at that point. So when you give full certainty, you just destroy all mystery, and you need to have mystery in a relationship. Marriages are doomed to fail, partly because you're expected to cohabitate. You're expected to live with your wife, sleep in the same bed. You're taking a shit in the morning and she's brushing her teeth. Like, all boundaries get blurred, and this is the setup for a great friendship and like a roommate relationship, and it's a one-way track to a dead bedroom, because she will not have sexual desire for you because you killed the mystery. So let's talk about why mystery is so important. Mystery creates anticipation, and that's what fuels desire. That's what keeps women engaged. When everything is predictable, excitement dies. It's the end of emotional peaks. You become boring, predictable. You become uninteresting because she has you all figured out. You need to create mystery. I'm not saying you should have an affair, but maybe make it uncertain whether you shouldn't make, if your wife has you all figured out, or your girlfriend, your relationship is dying, the sex is lackluster or non-existent, you have to create uncertainty. You have to make her wonder, wait, could he be having an affair? Could he be cheating on me right now? And you do this by disappearing. Just go somewhere. Go on a boys' trip, or just a solo trip into nature. Fast all day. Bring your journal. Meditate. Read in nature. Don't have any food. Just drink water, black coffee. And just don't respond to her texts. If she texts you or calls you, she will eventually. And don't respond. Maybe don't come home till the next day. You want to make yourself unpredictable. You want to make yourself mysterious. So you got to make it seem like there's things she doesn't know about you still. I think one of the main reasons why my marriage lasted so long is because my entire lifestyle and personality is unpredictable. I was a very reckless youth. I was constantly getting arrested and getting into fights. I was doing crimes. You guys got to understand, my wife was an 18-year-old virgin model when I met her. And she had plenty of options with lots of men. Many were older and wealthy. But she wanted to be with me because of this, because I was unpredictable. She couldn't figure me out. And she was excited by me. And I was not excited by her. I was very aloof and indifferent to her, really. I kind of tolerated her. Even when we got married, I was always kind of tolerating her. That was the dynamic between us. The dynamic should be you are this superior authority figure, and she is like this cute, ditzy, like, doesn't know about the world, and you're just like, okay, come along with me. I'll show you the world, and I'll fix your problems. I'll protect you because I'm the man. I have everything figured out. This is the dynamic. It should not be where you're like supplicating to her, trying to win her over. She should be trying to win you over. The moment that dynamic flips and you are trying to impress her or trying to make her think you're great and cool, anytime you care what she thinks, big turn off. Because you're showing weakness. You need to have inner strength. It all comes back to inner strength. And I can teach you how to build inner strength because I did it. It took me 1 or 2 years right after my divorce to build inner strength. Okay, next let's talk about how to be a challenge. This is so important. Even in a marriage, even if you're married right now, you've been married for 10 years, you can still make yourself a challenge to your wife. You can still turn things around. Like I said earlier, disappear and don't text her back. That's one practical tip. Live your own life. And I'm not saying be a degenerate, go out drinking with the boys and hook up with some stranger. That's not what I'm talking about. Although that will work too. So the camera turned off. I don't know why, but I think it might be the SD card. It just turns off after about 30 minutes. And I noticed it was getting kind of dark in here, so hopefully I raised the blind a little bit. But what was I saying? Yeah, don't be a degenerate to be a mystery, but be focused on your own things, on your own hobbies and interests, you should have goals that you're relentlessly pursuing, and let her be your support on that journey. She wants to be focused on you while you're focused on your goals and ambitions. This doesn't have to be a business and making money. This is another thing. A lot of the guys I talk to are very bitter about their breakups because they spent years working hard to provide for their wife and to give her a good life. But dude, that's your mistake. Why did you do that? No one forced you. She didn't hold a gun to your head and say, hey, work and make money for me. You chose to be that way. You chose to be a simp for your wife. So just accept that and now transform into a better man who doesn't simp for women. You should be focused on yourself. This is what makes you attractive. This is what makes you a mystery and a challenge, is when you're focused on your own endeavors, on your own pursuits, and you kind of disregard her. She should be focused on you and maintaining a relationship with you while you're busy doing other things. The moment you are focusing on the relationship with her, you already fucked up, because strong masculine men don't do that. They don't focus on relationships with women. They focus on building empires, waging wars, and historically. uh, instead of waging wars and killing people with swords, you can go to the gym and like go on a fitness journey, learn combat sports, learn jujitsu or kickboxing. I do kickboxing. So do have like masculine pursuits. Have a group of men that you interact with, that you do things with. Hiking in nature, sports. Go play basketball with other men. You should be living a full life, full of personal growth. And you should be pursuing your interests that you are passionate about, your specific things that you like, that you're interested in. For me, it's philosophy. I love reading philosophy and pondering existence. Notice how it has nothing to do with women, but it's very attractive to women for you to be focused on yourself and the things that you enjoy and are passionate about, and not to be focused on her and developing some kind of relationship with her. It's the woman's role to develop the relationship. It's the man's role to develop himself. In my 12-year marriage, there were many points along the way when I lost myself, when I lost focus on myself and my own life trajectory, and I bent my will to the will of society, because society pushes this narrative of you should care about your partner and you should be emotionally vulnerable and communicate your feelings and be loyal and dependable. Whatever your advice you get from mainstream society, just do the opposite. If you look around in the real world, women are attracted to the opposite traits that are being pushed down your throat. They're attracted to dangerous men. They're attracted to reckless risk takers. They're attracted to men who don't give a fuck, who play by their own rules. They're attracted to men who are not trying to impress them. They could care less about some hot woman's opinion about them. That's another thing. You can be a hot woman, but if a man who has inner strength and is living a full life and trying to advance himself in life and achieve his full potential, that man doesn't care about a woman's beauty, because a woman's beauty is like, it's trivial compared to the inner world he's built through suffering. You don't have to, I mean, I guess you do have to suffer a little bit to be beautiful these days. Like all these cosmetic procedures, it's hard to keep up. But the suffering a man needs to go through to build himself internally, this is so much bigger. It has more depth than the trivial suffering women have to endure to be beautiful. And really, natural beauty is the real beauty. It's basically just genetics. You didn't have to work for it. You didn't have to suffer for it. But yeah, in my own marriage, there was many points when I bent to the will of society and I started to act more agreeable, more nice, more loving, more caring, more dependable, more responsible. And I noticed in real time, I saw the sex get worse. I saw the dynamics switch, and I saw my wife lose attraction and start to disrespect me openly. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe I need to go back to being my genuine, authentic self, which is reckless, irresponsible, dangerous, and a womanizer. So I would just start openly flirting with beautiful young women in front of my wife and showing her I can attract women of her caliber or better. And when I did that, it immediately flipped things around, and she started, like, the attraction came back. She started fucking me with enthusiasm, and everything went back to how it should be. And throughout the years, I would notice this balance of, like, the more manly and selfish and reckless and irresponsible I was, which is how I am naturally. This is how a man with healthy testosterone behaves. The more like that I was, the more she was attracted and desired me. And the more I would supplicate to her, because she would say, oh, be more responsible. It would be always, she wouldn't come up with this stuff. It would be her friends. She would start hanging out with, like, female friends because of me, because I would meet women and make them our friend. Because obviously I'm angling for a threesome. But whenever she would form a new friendship, I would start to get this pressure of, oh, be a gentleman, be responsible. When are you going to grow up? You're such a man child. If a woman ever calls you a man child, this is a great sign that you're on the right path. You should be as much of a man child as possible. And whatever society, if society is telling you you're doing something wrong, you're on the right path. Because mainstream culture, mainstream society and thinking, their values, their way of life, it's the antithesis of a masculine, fulfilling way of life that is attractive to women. So just do the opposite of whatever you see in movies, whatever you hear on TV. Do the opposite. And you'll be fine. I have big balls that pump my body full of testosterone, and this is what I want. I want women. And when I don't deny my natural desires and I disregard my wife's objections, and I don't let her take me out of my frame. I'm like, this is who I am, this is what I want. That's the attitude you need to have. That's the attitude that's desirable. Women will tell you with words, oh, don't be like that. Don't be an asshole. Be nice, be agreeable, be dependable, be responsible. They will say these things and then watch their vaginas dry up when you act like that. But when you act like a degenerate playboy, watch how your wife or girlfriend does a 180 in it and starts enthusiastically giving you blowjobs. You'll notice she regains her previous genuine desire when you just act however you would naturally, without caring what she wants, what society says is right. You as a man with balls full of testosterone, you want to spread your seed. The more aligned you are with your natural biological imperative to spread your seed far and wide, I'm not saying do it literally, but the more aligned you are with that ethos, the better it is for you, and the more attractive you will be to your woman and to other women. Be unapologetically a man with huge balls full of sperm, ready to be spread across the world like Genghis Khan. Act like Genghis Khan. All right, so let's wrap this up. Attraction is about staying interesting. How do you stay interesting? You need to be constantly evolving and developing yourself. When you do specific daily habits that develop you, yes, it's predictable and routine-like. That's why you shouldn't live with a woman. This is a separate point I didn't mention, but it's best not to live with a woman. That is the easiest way to keep mystery alive, because she doesn't know what you're doing when you're not living together. You could be having an orgy with 6 beautiful women for all she knows. So that's very useful in maintaining mystery in a relationship, not living together. If you're married and you're living together and you have kids, you're playing on hard mode, expert mode. I would advise you to not sleep in the same bed as your wife, or try to avoid sleeping in the same bed as much as possible. The more you sleep in the same bed, the harder it is to maintain mystery. And not sleeping in the same bed has a lot to do with affection and touch. It's a huge turnoff for a man to act like a woman and initiate affection and touch and like cuddling. If you as a man need warmth and love and affection from a woman, you're not doing it right. You're not being a man, you're being a woman. Affection and touch and kisses and cuddling is great if it's initiated by the woman. She should want to do that. And then you can enjoy it. But you shouldn't need that. You shouldn't need to be cuddled. You're not a child. She's not your mother. This is a big thing about giving certainty. You're giving her certainty when you're initiating touch with her, when you're being needy about getting love and support from her. Women aren't meant to love you. They weren't designed by nature to love you. They were designed by nature to weed out the inferior, weak men and find the top men who have strong genetics, not to love you. In fact, they will oftentimes withhold love and affection from you to test you, to test your inner strength. And the number one mistake guys make is failing that test and giving her certainty that, yes, you should be certain that I need your love, that I am emotionally dependent on you. It's a certainty. You're not leaving any doubt in her mind that you love her and that you're all hers. So you give certainty, you kill attraction. So to wrap it up, stop giving your woman certainty. Be unpredictable. Be reckless. Be dangerous. This is the opposite of what most guys are doing. Most guys are being so boring and so predictable and giving full certainty to their woman. A woman will forgive you for cheating on her if you don't lie about it, because dishonesty is actually a huge sign of weakness. But a woman will forgive you for cheating on her. She will not forgive you for closing off all options for her. That's basically you submitting to her. Women will never forgive a man who submits to her. Women will never forgive a man who has his mind and his beliefs changed by her words. Women will forgive a man who does what men do. All right, so the moral of the story is be a man, be a real man. Don't be a supplicating, submissive bitch of a man. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more female nature videos, men's mental health videos, and email me for coaching. I'm gonna make a link soon. I don't know why I'm pointing at you. I'm gonna make a link soon. I want to create an online community of men who are trying to improve themselves and learning from each other about relationship dynamics and helping each other get through breakups. That's gonna be the core of the community that I'm building, is a bunch of guys who have been dumped, because that is the perfect time for you to transform and become a stronger man. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.